All right, you're back off the edge, week 16. I messed up, so this is also on my Jake Ellenbogen channel, which is strictly Rams. But hey, you know what? We're just going to roll with the punches here. I got a former Rams linebacker with me as always.
Yeah.
So it works out that way. But Cam, how you doing, man? Wasn't that long ago we were just enjoying some grub together.
Yeah, man. We ate at Killer Shrimp out here in California. Glad it was tasty. It was good to see you and your pops. But yeah, man, all is well. Enjoying LA, the vibe out here. It's 70 degrees. I know you just flew back to New York, Jake. So hopefully that weather, you're not, hopefully you're not missing it too much. But Jake, I will say, when we were at dinner, I asked you if you could see yourself living in LA. Seemed like you got a lot of love at the Rams game. You'd be welcome here in LA if you moved out here one day.
It's true. It's true. I don't think I'll ever make the trek, but no, I do feel the love, and it's a cool vacation spot. I'll tell you that.
Wait, Jake, the chat knows that you weren't feeling well after eating some food out here in LA as well.
Yeah, because I couldn't make the round table. So
Got it.
And then I just did a show with Brandon from the round table, and we were having fun with that as well. I'm good now. But yeah.
Shout out to the Pepto Bismol. Shout out to all the things that are keeping you healthy and on track, my guy.
Yeah, what is it they say? You're held together with duct tape and all sorts of whatever. But no, I appreciate everybody. All love, of course. So obviously doing something a little different today, now that it's on my channel as well. If you guys are on my channel, I'm going to ask you guys to head on over to Off the Edge and subscribe if you haven't already. Cam and I do this weekly, but not everybody knows about it. So we're trying to keep this thing growing. We're getting closer to 1,000 subscribers. Ooh. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds awful. It's because, well, I was throwing up like 8 straight times. So that said, let's dive into the top performers recap. We'll just go quick. Cam, you had Trevor Lawrence last week. Well, you nailed it. 5 touchdowns, 330 yards, and a win. It's been an eruption of scoring for Jacksonville. They're one of the best scoring offenses in the league.
Shout out to Liam, Jake. He might be coach of the year, him and Ben Johnson, the way that they're turning these horrible organizations around. Not horrible, Jake, but historically they've been not good.
Well, not horrible, Jake, but what comes after horrible? I had Matthew Stafford. I'm still going to say he was the top performer. 366 yards, which was second on the slate behind Kirk Cousins. Insanity.
We were wrong.
What is happening?
We were wrong about Grandpa Kirk.
we were wrong. We retired him too soon. 2 touchdowns for Stafford and a win against his former team. Travis Etienne was one of yours. He had 3 receiving touchdowns. It's funny, Cam, I went back and I looked at the box score and I was like, why did Cam say to highlight him as a top performer? He barely ran, and I saw, 3 receiving touchdowns, 100 plus total yards. He was crazy. The Clemson connection, man, still there, alive and well.
And I have him on my fantasy too. That's why, Jake. That's why I went to the ETN.
I see you. Hey, I mean, 3 touchdowns. It doesn't happen very often. And Nick Eamon-Worry, or Demon Worry, depending on where you're coming from there. He had 2 pressures, a sack, 6 defensive stops, and a sub 60 targeted passer rating. Allowed 2 of 4 catches for only 3 yards. So, just an incredible performance there against Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis.
Rams have to circle him this week, Jake, for sure. That's why I put him on last week. I mentioned it because we got to watch out for the ballers, and he's a baller as a rookie.
Oh, absolutely. And then now, top performers, Cam. I'll go quick here. Quarterback Bryce Young taking on the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Sorry, the Buccaneers are giving up way too much through the air. Bryce Young's at home. They're a different animal at home. They need this win. This is for the division, and I think Bryce Young is going to step up in a big way in front of the home crowd. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs versus the Steelers. Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't have back-to-back bad games. He was bad against the Rams. He couldn't do anything.
They make every back bad, though. Saquon, Derrick Henry, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what you think type deal, right?
Yeah.
So Jahmyr Gibbs, I think he's going to run just all over the Steelers defense. I don't think it's going to be remotely close. Plus, it's at Ford Field, which is always a big deal. Wide receiver is going to surprise you, though. I'm going to go with the rookie out of Missouri. Luther Burden III against the Packers. I'm thinking big game for him. The Packers are not 100%. No Micah Parsons means basically Caleb Williams is going to be able to run around all day in that pocket.
Yeah.
And I feel like on the move, Luther Burden, who's been getting more targets lately, 7 targets, 6 catches this past game. I think he's going to have a huge game. I mean, talking 120 plus yards, 2 touchdowns against the Packers. Luther Burden III is my wide receiver. And to wrap it up for me, defensive top performer this week will be Will Anderson Jr., lame as hell, one of the best pass rushers in the league. You could pick him every week.
But you picked him early in the year, Jake. You picked him before he started.
That's true.
Yeah, you picked him early.
That's true. He's going up against Stone Forsythe, and he's been horrendous in Vegas. I'm sorry, Stone, but
yeah, your foresight is that Stone's going to get stoned this week. It's going to be a long day. Sorry, Stone.
Oh man, Stone taking shots. All right, what you got, Cam?
Yeah, so Jake, for this week, I went with Trevor Lawrence last week, and it was a little bit like, wait, Trevor Lawrence, but I saw they were playing the Jets. I saw they're going to start heating up, and I doubled down with Travis. So this week, Jake, I'm going to go with someone who's unlikely, but JJ McCarthy. The way he performed against the Cowboys, I was like, JJ, Cam, are you really going to do that on this show? But then I look back at his previous performance against the Commanders. He balled out, had 3 touchdowns. Against the Cowboys, he had 2 touchdowns and 1 pick, but he ended up pulling that one off, and it was daggone impressive. And I was talking mess, Jake. I was at Topgolf in LA, and I was like, JJ McCarthy, are we really watching this right now at Topgolf? It's cold. Why are we wasting our time? Little do we know, he pulls it off. He wins that game. So, JJ, got to show you some respect, my guy. And that's why I have you as my top performer this week against the Giants. So, that'll be a good one. And I'm going to stay with the same team, Jake. I did this last week. I'm going to go Andrew Van Ginkel. I went Jaguars last week, and I'm going to go offense and defensive player this week with Andrew. Against the Commanders, he had 12 tackles, 1 pick. Cowboys, only 4 tackles. So he has the Giants this week. So I'd imagine he'll start picking that up a little bit with the sacks, with the interceptions. He's been dynamic all year. Staying on the defensive side, Jake, I'm going with Devin White, former Buccaneer. I know he went to the Eagles. Now he's with the Raiders. The Raiders aren't doing well, but one thing I do know is that Devin White is a tackling machine. Week 14, he had 13 tackles. Week 15, he had 16. So daggone impressive. He has the Texans this week, so he's going to have his hands full, right? And so I'm going to keep my eye out for Devin White to ball out and do his thing. But tackle king, I think he's leading the NFL in tackles right now. So he's crushing it. And then finally with my running back, Jake, and I saw someone jump in the chat here about someone just said JJ stinks. Well, he does, but I think this week he won't. But B Rich mentioned in the chat the Seattle game that is going to be raining. And so this week, Jake, for my offensive player, I have Blake Corum. Blake Corum starting behind Kyron Williams. It could be tough, right? Woe is me. What does that look like? No. Blake Corum, this past week, had 1 touchdown, 71 yards. And the week before that, he had 2 touchdowns and 128 yards. So Blake Corum, he's starting to just peak a little bit, Jake. We're starting to see that Michigan's finest running back. And we have the Seattle Seahawks this week. Who give up some running yards, Jake. They give up some running yards, and I think this would be a good matchup. And then finally, I got Kyle Pitts. Jake, just the way he embarrassed my Buccaneers last week, like, I just got to pay respect, dog. He had 3 touchdowns in the air. He was pushing off Levante Davis, scoring touchdowns. I mean, he put up an insane performance, and so I got to tip my cap off to a guy like Kyle Pitts, 100 and so yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. I mean, what a guy. So those are my top performers for this week, Jake. What you think?
Yeah, I like him, man. Kyle Pitts, man, I don't. Was that the end of the Buccaneers' candidacy to win the division? I don't know. I guess we'll find out because, I mean, the Panthers don't want to win it either. They lost to freaking Tyler Shuck and the Saints. So
Tyler Shuck, it's Shuck time. I mean, like, he has Gunna shouting him out. You know what I mean? Like, he's starting to pick up some swag too. So yeah, it's NFC South is kind of weird right now.
It be like that, man. Well. Not going to waste any time. We're going to dive right into Thursday night football. We have the 11-3 Los Angeles Rams taking on the 11-3 Seattle Seahawks. Huge game, Cam. Man, this is going to be a fun one. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking this game? Well, the Rams, we snuck away with one last time we played them. So I want to say that. So I know when it comes to that Seahawks team, I know they're going to be licking their chops because this is for the division. This is for all the marbles. We won last week against the Lions. Quick turnaround. I know we talked about on the show last time. Well, you were like, the quick turnaround is not going to have, they're not going to have a physical effect. They're not going to lag. Well, they crushed the Lions. So what I will say, Jake, is I think they're feeling more fresh now. So it's easier to carry that momentum to the Seattle Seahawks. B. Rich mentioned it in the chat that it's going to be raining out there. And so what does that look like? Devontae Adams is out. Increase the run game. I'm thinking Kobe Parkinson a lot more. Puka Nacua, maybe some more end-around reverses, some things over the middle, but a lot more 13 personnel. I'll end it with that. 13 personnel. Defense creates turnovers again. We had three picks last time we played the Seahawks. So I think we do that again on the defensive side, but stop the run, stop the pass, and 13 personnel, my brother. What are your thoughts?
I'm with you on that. I think the Rams are going to be able to run the football better than the Seahawks are going to be able to run the football. The reality is the Rams are the better rushing team. Since Blake Corum has kind of figured out his thing, they've been really unstoppable, right? No one has been able to really stop them. Then you have the 13 personnel grouping. No one's really been able to stop either. Nobody has caught more touchdowns the last, I think, at 5 or 6 games than Colby Parkinson. So you have that, which is wild. He's cooking, man. 12 touchdowns in the tight end room this year. I mean, Stafford's spreading it out. I just think they're more equipped to handle this than Seattle. I think Seattle and the Rams, they push in terms of run defense, but I think the Rams have a better run game, so they're more likely to do better than the Seahawks, who don't have as good of a run game. So that's my biggest thing there. I think the Rams' offensive line is better. I don't think Seattle has as good of an offensive line. And when push comes to shove, I think Matthew Stafford, I'm going to trust more than Sam Darnold, as well as anybody. So I'm going to take the Rams 30-24 in this one.
Okay, I'm going to take the Rams in this one, 27 to the Seahawks, 24. It's going to be close. Yeah, man, it's going to be a good game. I think this is game of the week for sure. This is game of the week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anytime you get 2 11-win teams this late in the year on a Thursday night, that's insane. Yeah. One thing I'll also add, Seattle's red zone offense is what is kind of scaring me. They're middle of the pack, whereas the Rams are pretty much the hottest red zone offense in the league right now. So, that matters.
Yes, and Rashid Shaheed, I said this last time we played the Seahawks, the Rams did. I'm gonna say it again. Rashid Shaheed got them in field goal position to barely beat the Colts, and so he's wearing number 22 again. Rams, watch out for him because he's someone that's really sneaky, and he hasn't had that breakout game yet. But let's not make it this week against the Rams.
No, let's not make it that. Saturday we got some football. How about that? The game no one cared about or wanted. The Eagles taking on the Commanders. The Commanders are done. Yeah. The Eagles are, I mean, I guess if you're watching for the Eagles. You're an Eagles fan or you're a Cowboys fan, because the Eagles have to lose out and the Cowboys have to win out in order for the Cowboys to avoid the Eagles breaking a 14-year record.
Damn.
Of so I don't know if you knew this. NFC East has not had the same champion back-to-back years in like 14 years.
Oh, damn. And it's going to probably be the Eagles.
This is probably going to be the year. Unless the Cowboys can win out and the Eagles can lose out. I don't see the Eagles losing twice to the Commanders, but once to the Bills, I could see it.
Once to the Bills, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, Commanders, this one's a dub, Jake. This game, Commanders. So I'm going to say this game, Eagles 34, man, Commanders 17. 17.
I got a closer game, but I'm going to take the Eagles 26-21. We just move on. There's not really much else to say. Commanders aren't playing for anything, but they're at home. This is their best shot at the Eagles. I just think the Eagles are playing for too much. The Commanders are playing for nothing. So those are my thoughts there. Saturday night football. So this is a much more important game. And while it feels bleak now that Micah Parsons is out for the year, the Packers are still rocking with Jordan Love. They still have, Josh Jacobs. They still have Rashawn Gary. They have Keyshawn Nixon. They have the receiving core. I mean, No Tucker Kraft, obviously that sucks, but this is still a good football team at 9-4-1, taking on the 10-4 Bears. They won the last matchup. Cam, I'm going to take the Bears in this one, 25-22.
Okay. You got the Bears. Nice. I'm going to take the Bears as well, Jake. 27-24. I think either someone here said it or on Twitter, but I think, Jake, it's something that you actually you retweeted, but someone mentioned that the Bears is the most dangerous NFC team. I mentioned this at the top of the show. Ben Johnson might be a coach of the year, but watching DeAndre Swift run the football, Jake, is giving me Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's watching Jahmyr Gibbs. He's like, oh, I can be more explosive than that, right? And so he's running the ball extremely well. That Bears team is crushing it. And so I like the Bears to win this one too. And then not only you got Moore as well. He's catching the football really nicely. Man, this Bears team, they've come along in a way that I didn't think they would, them and the Panthers. And I will say this too, this Bears defense, when they take the football away, Jake, that's one thing about it. Their cornerback Johnson, number one, he stole the ball. It was a touchdown pass and he stole it right out of his hands. One of the plays. I mean, they do it over and over again. And so this Chicago team is special. Jalen Johnson, that's who it was. He stole the ball out of the hands. Gardner Johnson had one. Jackson had one. And then, like I mentioned, DJ Moore, man, he's catching that football nicely. DeAndre Swift. So, and I have a Bears fan that's in the group chat, Jake, and they beat the Eagles, so they're talking a lot of smack. They're doing their thing. But I realize this, Jake, I can't always root for NFC teams because that means it could be detrimental for the Rams. So,
or the Bucs.
Or the Bucs. Yeah, exactly. But I got the Bears winning this one too.
Yeah, I think the Bears are going to win this one. It'll be close. I mean, I think they'll be able to run the football. The Packers defense, I don't think is as good without Parsons. I mean, that's obvious, but I mean, he's so key and critical, especially getting after the more athletic passers in the league, guys that can really move around, and Caleb does that really well. And so, I look in terms of, Luther Burden the third here, explosive player.
Luther.
This just feels like a guy, those off-schedule plays that Caleb thrives with, he's going to really make the most out of those. And so that is a big thing for me. And then to your point, the Bears can take away the football. They can. And so I think that's going to be big in this one. They're going to do just enough to win 25-22. We move on to Sunday Night Football. We got the Patriots taking on the 7-7 Ravens, the 11-3 Patriots, blowing a 21-point lead against the Bills. And now suddenly you do that. Now everybody just basically throws you off to the curb. They playing with their new favorite toy, Josh Allen. Drake May no longer in the MVP race, according to everybody now. It's crazy how the league works. But that said, the Patriots, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't really know why everybody is just throwing them away and, whatever. What's funny is I think they're going to lose this game, though. I was really high on them coming into the year. I had them going 11-6. Well, maybe I'll have them lose the last three so I could be right. But anyway, I don't have that. What I do have, the Ravens, they are way more desperate. They have to win this game. If they don't win this game, I don't see a way they make the playoffs, Cam. That sounds crazy. Ravens win this game 31-27. Lamar Jackson is going to have to play his ass off. He knows that. The Ravens know that. I think he's going to. And I think last week showed you that even though you got down, 21-0, you can come back. And they have the quarterback to do that. We saw it against the Bucs. Like, the Patriots aren't unbeatable.
Yep.
And, once you can make God bleed, right? Like, then you start to have more faith. Well, there you go. I think, obviously, not calling the Patriots God. They're far from it. But
they had a great record. They're crushing it. They haven't been really challenged like that. Yeah.
But the Ravens, man, they're right there. I'm going to take the Ravens. I'm going to go with my gut here.
I like that, Jake. I'm gonna rock with the Ravens as well. I'm gonna go Ravens this game, 23, Patriots 20. The only way that the Patriots win this one is if they win the turnover battle. Because the Ravens have been known to give that football up. Lamar, I think, gave it up the week before, maybe twice. Zay Flowers had a bobble pass and it was picked against the Bengals. So But I think, Jake, the Ravens are turning it up a little bit. They're just cranking it up. I think that defense knows that they need to do better. They got Lamar Jackson on the other side. He's frustrated. Derrick Henry's running the ball really well, 100 yards last game. So I think that's important. And I think one other play that was really cool, Kyle Van Noy had a nice little pitch back for a return for a touchdown. So I think with that momentum, they'll carry that into this game. I would say that the Patriots are going to, be pissed off from last week. Jake, I think they were up like 28 to something at halftime, and then the score just flipped. Josh Allen came back and did his thing. So Bills found the blood in the water. I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens will do the same thing. So they find that win over the Patriots. And Jake, the Patriots, they've been cruising pretty much all year. I think they had top 5 easiest calendar, easiest schedule in the NFL. So I think these games are getting them ready for the playoffs, but I think they take the L this week. And what I will say though, too, finally, is Travion Henderson, though, he is running the football like no one's business. So if the Ravens want to win, they need to stop him too.
Yeah, it all comes out in the wash, right? We'll see. I mean, we've got the Broncos coming up here in a little bit to talk about them. They've had it easy. Their strength of schedule below 400. Same with the Patriots. Can't even believe it's 2025 and we have strength of schedules below 400. That's absolutely insane to me. But we move on to the last primetime game. Then we get into our premier games and then the rest, which, it is what it is. Monday Night Football. We got the 10-4 49ers taking on the 8-6 desperate Grandpa Phil-led Indianapolis Colts. Shout out to Phillip Rivers and shout out to the people who clearly never watched Phillip Rivers when he played because they're acting like this dude, looked like he couldn't throw. Hate to break it to you, that's how Phillip Rivers has always thrown the football. So he has always had that weird shot put, very unorthodox throwing motion. You can just tell, Cam, who has been watching him all these years and who never saw him. Because it was very telling to see the way people were reacting to his throwing motion.
Yeah, it's just a little grandpa-ish. And his feet, what I will say, though, his feet looked a little bit more sped up. He did look a little bit more nervous. And that's fair, though, right? You're going against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
Who they gave the Seattle Seahawks a run for their money, Jake. I mean, they almost had that game. It just the Seattle Seahawks have a great kicker who just happened to kick the ball to the uprights, when they needed it. But the way he stepped in, Phillip Rivers stepped in, scored a touchdown off of a turnover, and kept that team in the game against a great Seattle team was awesome to see. And what I will say, though, is after watching that game, Sam Darnold can get rattled, right? If you hit him in the mouth, he fumbled, I believe it was, on one play, on one run he had. But if you hit Sam Darnold in the mouth, he will fold up. And so this Colts team, man, I think they have a chance to do something special, but I don't think it'll be this week against the 49ers. I think the Ricky Pearsall is back. I think the 49ers are cooking on all cylinders, man. I got the 49ers winning this one, Jake, 28 to the Colts 21.
I had a hard time with this one. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to pick the Colts. The Colts are desperate as hell. Okay. They're at Lucas Oil. That's the same spot. I know they're a different team, but they beat the Broncos earlier in the year. That same 12-2 Broncos team. I think the Colts, one thing that really hurt their chances, if they were able to run the football a little bit better, which they would have against pretty much any other team, virtually any other team. Except the Rams. They would have been able to win that game against Seattle. They would have held the ball a little bit longer, and Seattle doesn't have time to go down the field and kick the field goal. The 49ers are not going to defend the run anywhere near as well as Seattle did. They're just not. Yeah. Okay? So that's my biggest thing when I look at that. San Francisco, they're not a bad run defense, but they're about par for the course, right? I mean, that's just kind of, they're just chilling, giving up about 106.1 yards per game. Seattle gives up 91.6. That's a huge difference. So I'm going to say that the Colts are going to be able to run the football with Jonathan Taylor. I think Phillip Rivers, people are looking at this like, oh, well, the element of surprise came into it. And now, teams have had film on him. That's true, but I could also say the other thing, and this is how I'm going to take this, Cam. He gets a full week of preparation now. Okay. he gets a full week of preparation. All right, I took my licks. I know what I'm dealing with. I'm concerned that Bernard Ryman might not play. They're banged up. They don't have DeForest Buckner. I don't know if he'll be back. I know he's eligible to come off IR, I believe, but I don't know if he'll be back. I am concerned by that. But I still think Jonathan Taylor, we were talking about him as a potential offensive player of the year. Okay, not that long ago.
Yeah.
You still got Steichen out there calling plays. I think they're going to do enough to beat the 49ers. And I'm not saying they're going to go to the playoffs, but this does give you a reason to watch, the rest of the season. Because I'm pretty sure they play both Jacksonville and the Texans to end the season.
Yeah.
So,
and what I will say,
control your destiny at that point.
Yeah, my thing though, Jake, I don't know if they're producing enough offense. To be fair, I know it's his first week back.
Oh, they're not.
He's not. And someone in the chat asked, "Do you think Pittman will score?" Like, I don't know.
I wouldn't bet on anybody to score in particular,
unless it's Jonathan Taylor. Specifically, like, wouldn't bet, or maybe Tyler Warren, because you can give him a nice little dump pass in the red zone and have him score there. But the only way I think that the Colts really score, Jake, is if their defense puts them in position to score. Other than that, man, I don't know how much offense you're going to get.
We're going to get some Brock Purdy turnovers. I mean, hey, I will say this. I was really impressed when I went back and I watched. I was really impressed to see how the Colts were able to pressure Sam Darnold. And that's one thing. Like, Phillip Rivers just went up against the best defense, arguably, in the league.
Yeah.
I am not impressed with the 49ers defense. Now, I understand they're banged up, but, like, they don't get any pressure, Cam. Well, what if Phil actually gets time to throw?
Yeah, that could be different. And Robert, I'm sure, Jake, after watching the tape, I'm sure Robert Saleh's like, hey, Phil's his feet are moving really quickly. Just watch Phil. Just watch his feet, Jake.
Yeah.
His feet are moving really quickly during his drop back. I think he slipped on one play and kind of like got up and like hobbled forward a little bit. So I think of Robert Saleh, if he pressures him a little bit and gets his feet off rhythm, I think he could find something, man. I think Robert Saleh is too good of a defensive coordinator to just let Phillip Rivers chew him up continuously. So we'll see.
Death by 1,000 paper cuts incoming. But yeah, I'll take the Colts in this one.
Nice.
I'm just going my gut. 24-20. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think they'll find a way to get it done.
Yeah, or you hate the 49ers, so you know what I mean? And no, I'm going 49ers this one, man. 24 to Colts 21.
So we got the premier games now. And speaking of which, I feel like we've mentioned them multiple times, both these teams. Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval, 10-4, taking on the 12-2 Denver Broncos. The Broncos have not lost at home. I don't think that's changing in this one. Jaguars offense has been super electric. They just threw 5 touchdowns through the air. Trevor Lawrence just threw 5 touchdowns. I nearly fell down when I read that.
It was against the Jets, though.
It was against the Jets, but you're not supposed to say that part and just say Trevor Lawrence threw 5 touchdowns. Who is it against? It doesn't matter. He threw 5 touchdowns, right? All jokes aside, Jaguars have not. I don't believe they've lost since they dropped that game to the Rams in London.
Right. They got embarrassed. Was it about 40 points or so? And that's supposed to be like a home game for them? Yeah.
Some home game. Yeah, it's fascinating to me. I believe, they're on a crazy winning streak.
Yeah, they might be like on a 8-game win streak.
Okay, only 5 games. But still, I mean,
that's better than what they've done in the past year. So
going from 5-4 to 10-4 is wild. Texans going from 3-5 to 9-5 is also wild.
Mm-hmm.
The Broncos starting at 1-2 to 12-2 is that's pretty wild.
Sean Payton, good job, Jake. We sometimes throw a little shade at Sean Payton. I got to give him his flowers because he's
done a nice job. And how about do you remember Davis Webb?
Davis Webb
from Cal?
A little bit. Davis Webb.
He's the quarterback's coach and pass game coordinator. He's been helping out.
Yeah, Bo Nix he's wheeling and dealing. Good for him.
Yeah, shout out Davis Webb. I just found that out today, so I figured I'd just shout him out. But
nice. Who you got win this game, Jake?
I'm gonna take the Broncos. Look, I really want to believe in Jacksonville in this one, but I just can't. Broncos are so good at home. They're actually the best home team in football at 7-0. It's too tough. You can't go up against that. They're 12-2 and they're 7-0. The one thing, if anything does come to pass, is that the Broncos have not played a good schedule, as we've talked about. Okay.
Right.
Recently, they played against the Packers, which came down to the wire. It was 34-26. They barely beat the Raiders. They squeaked one away against the Commanders by 1 point. They beat the Chiefs by 3. That was a way better win then than it feels now. They beat the Raiders by 3 again. So they barely beat the Raiders again. They barely beat the Texans without CJ Stroud.
So it sounds like they play down to the level of their competition. That's what it sounds like.
Doesn't it feel that way? It feels that way.
Yeah.
Now, they don't score a lot, and they're not a great road team. They lost. Their 2 losses are on the road. I will defend them in the Colts game. Kind of a BS call on the kick. Leverage, which I don't know if I agree. You were on special teams. I mean, you tell me, but I didn't think it should have been called. Wipes off Spencer Schrader, the kicker for the Colts, misses the field goal. They're like, hold on. Penalty, re-kick, and then he hits a field goal because he's up 5 yards closer. So technically, like the Broncos had already won, and then that penalty comes in. And then the Chargers game, they lost 23-20. So it's like
the Chargers, they know how to knock down some giants.
Yeah, it's funny because while you could be critical of how they win, they just win.
Yeah.
And they're 7-0 at home. So I just can't go against that. As much as I like the way Jacksonville's playing right now, I'm going to stay confident in the Broncos here to defend their home. And I just, if push comes to shove and I have to go against Bo Nix or Trevor Lawrence, I think I'm taking Bo Nix. I don't like either of them, to be honest with you. But I think Bo Nix is clearly better.
Yeah, and the Jacksonville does have a good defense, but I think I know the Broncos have the best defense. Those defensive ends, they rush the passer like no one's business. They kind of rush. Like I bet Isaiah Pacheco runs the ball, like just real frantic, like I gotta get there. That's how they rush the passer. And so I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have some issues unless he gets the ball on the perimeter, unless he finds some motion, some rollout. Give ETN the football. He's going to have a long day. Pat Surtain, I think, is back. He had a pick, I think it was last week. Riley Moss with a pick as well. So, this Broncos defense is something to deal with. RJ Harvey, that was a question. I know he fumbled the last game. I think you mentioned that you don't really have too much confidence in RJ Harvey. I think it was Micah Parsons that stripped the ball from him, but he's a runner. He's a blazer. He can run the ball. He can catch the ball in the backfield. Courtland Sutton, he's 100 yards almost every game, it feels like. And then Bo Nix, man, I watched that game against Green Bay. He was dealing, man. He had 4 touchdowns. I just wrote in my notes, dealing, all caps, because he was just you just talk about Webb being the quarterback coach. He's clearly teaching him the proper things because the guy is balling out. And so I think Denver, I know Denver has to win this game, Jake, if they want to maintain that dominance in the AFC, right? The Patriots just dropped off against the Bills. So the Broncos are like, oh, shoot, like we're those guys. So I think the Broncos to maintain things, if they want to see the Super Bowl, if they want to make a long run in the playoffs, they got to win tough games like this. So I got Broncos winning this one 30 to Jacksonville's 27.
Yeah, I got the Broncos winning this one 27-20. I think it's going to be a close game, like Broncos games are, but do they score more than 27? Not normally, so I'm going to take them 27-20. Trevor Lawrence, get ready to learn Nick Bonito.
Yeah, Nick Bonito. He's going to knock that pretty hair in a bundle.
So we got a battle of the 8-6 teams. Need a win here. It's getting kind of hairy for both teams. Now, I will say the Steelers have one up because they're in a bad division, and the Lions are in a very good division, and they're also in a good conference and the superior conference, so they're in trouble. They need this win. Do they get it done, Cam? I believe they do.
I think so too. I think the Lions win this one, Jake, 34-24. They got them. Let's keep it a spade a spade. They got embarrassed by the Rams. The first half they didn't. On offense, they didn't. They had, I think, Amon-Ra had 100 yards. Jameson had 100 yards. They were balling. But then that second half, my guy, it just feels like, Jake, with the Rams, they're like, okay, you throw your best punches, try to knock me out, and then they're like, okay, yep, we got them. Second half, crank it up a little bit and just go to work on their ass. So I think the Lions, they're feeling a little hurt, and they're gonna have to get a dub this week, Jake. But what I will say, they have to watch out for DK Metcalf because he got the angry run scepter, Jake. He got the angry run scepter because he stiff armed the hell out of somebody and scored. DK's been going off, so keep your eye out for DK. But I still think that that they get this win. And Jake, I'm gonna stick on DK Metcalf really quick because I know you were talking to Smoke 2 weeks ago, and he heard you, Jake. He had to hear you because he's been balling out. And what I will say, when I was watching him, he's giving me, I know you said he's not really he's an overrated receiver, but he's giving me like that Megatron Julio Jones effect. Not saying he's as productive as those guys are. I'm not saying that. Let me pause there. But just the threat he brings to defenses. When you wake up, you're like, damn, like I got to cover a guy that runs a 4.3 40, maybe a sub-9 100-yard dash. In the same way that facing Julio Jones, Jake, just seeing him play, man, for the Buccaneers, playing against him, he was fast as all get out. He caught everything and anything. And of course, Megatron, he is what he is. But I think, Jake, we have to show a little bit more love and give his flowers for DK Metcalf because he's coming along nicely.
He's got to keep it going.
He's been trash all year, right?
Okay. You decided to start playing, the last, and who have you played? Like, come on. So
he said, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. No. If he keeps playing, I'll give him his props. I used to love him, honestly. So, but I got the Lions 34-23. Their secondary is kind of a joke. I think you'll be able to throw all over them. But the Steelers don't throw all over anybody. That's the problem. So it's like even against Miami. I mean, he was the leading receiver, DK, with over 50 yards. It's like, woohoo. So with the Lions, I think they're going to run all over the Steelers defense. All over. I think they're probably going over 200 total yards of rushing offense, and most of that will be Gibbs, but I honestly think we'll see some more David Montgomery this week because he was honestly the better looking back against the Rams. And I think they started to see that, but it was too late to run the football at that point. So,
and TJ Watt's out too. So, unfortunately, that's a big blow to the Steelers.
His career is going downhill, man. He's not playing at the same level, and now he's dealing with injury.
Collapsed lung, like getting therapy at the facility. Like, what kind of shit is that? See my language, but that's brutal because him and Myles Garrett, Jake, at one point we were like, who is better?
Didn't Tyrod have this same thing with the Chargers where they like punctured his lung or something like before the game? What?
Well, now we know what grade they're getting on their NFLPA report.
I was just gonna say, you beat me to it. I was like, man, where's the NFLPA grading when we need one? I mean, good.
They're trying to get rid of that too, I think.
Imagine you're the guy that's like, yeah, so good news. There is no good news, unfortunately. The bad news is that I just punctured the lung of our top player.
Like, fire him. Just go ahead, pack your bags, turn the TV off, get him out of here.
Just fire him into the sun. How about that? Just like literally slingshot into the sun you go. Absolutely incredible and not in the right way. The next premier game, we got the 7-7 battle. So we had an 8-6, 8-6. Now we have 7-7. Your former team, the Buccaneers, taking on the Panthers. Panthers have a nice win on their resume against the Rams and the Packers. The Buccaneers, they had a really nice win on their resume beating the Seahawks, and it feels like it's all came crumbling down since. A lot of injuries, sure, but Baker doesn't look the same. The offense doesn't look the same. It looks like a jumbled mess, Cam. I mean, what are your thoughts on this game? Because I'm not feeling good about the Bucs right now.
Yeah, I'm not either, Jake. And to be honest, I think it's after the Rams put belt to ass, really, and Baker went down. Jake, after watching that game, I'm like, oh, like they've been figured out. They've been figured out. I think Bucky Irvin's been in and out. That's been tough. Mike Evans is finally getting back. And I messaged someone during that game, that Falcons and Bucks game. I was like, Mike Evans being back is just great for football, brother. Like, that is great for football. He's mossing people. He's yelling on the sideline because his team is not winning. Like, that's the passion. That's the type of, that's just good ball, brother. That's just good ball. So the fact that he's back, I think now Baker has his 3 receivers. That's excellent. But man, this Panthers team, Chuba Hubbard, I mean, I just had a more of a respect for that running back room after Chuba Hubbard just ate up the Rams. I think he had like 70 or so, 80 or so yards against us, and then let alone Rico Dowdle. So, man, that Panthers team is good, Jake. And I'm not going to lie, even with the Buccaneers getting everybody back, I got the Panthers, bro. I'm not going to lie. I got the Panthers. I'm going to go Panthers, man, 2024 to the Bucks 21.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Panthers as well. I think they win the division. I think it starts with this game. I'm going to take the Panthers 33-23. They always like to have an offensive explosion at home. I think they get an offensive explosion this time against a bad pass defense. I don't know what happened to the Bucks. I know they have injuries, but man, this is worse than injuries. Like something like Todd Bowles is under the hot seat now. He's on the hot seat
because he was cussing like a sailor on that in that interview. So you should tell people when they just get unfolded. You know what I mean? They just get unfolded. You get a little rattled. He seemed a little bit rattled seeing Kirk Cousins come back when they're down by 14 points in the third quarter. So yeah, it's not looking good, Jake. And even seeing Levante David kind of struggle against Kyle Pitts. I'm like, I don't think he's putting these guys in the best position to succeed. And that's you think, look at Chris Shula. I mean, these guys are always in great position to ball out. And so Buccaneers, not so much.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Chris Shula, by the way, maybe he's an option for them next year. 10-4 Chargers taking on the 6-7-1 Cowboys. Why is this a premier game? Well, because this will be a fun game. Chargers and Cowboys can both score it. The Cowboys can throw all over the yard. The Chargers have a really good defense, though, and that offensive line is not the best. They're trying to get through. Justin Herbert's trying to carry this team. They've won 10 games, Cam. I was out on this team. I still am out on this team as a Super Bowl contender, but they're going to the playoffs unless they just completely fall right on their face here in this game and moving forward. I kind of see that happening in this one. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game 30-23.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, in that case, Jake, I'm going the Chargers in this one, 28-24. I think, Jake, the Chargers, they got their flow back. Someone just said Chargers offensive line is poop. What I will say is Omarion Hampton, he's back and he's cooking. I think I always mention every show. I mentioned you at dinner. I think he's going to be one of the better backs in the league, along with him and Jahmyr Gibbs. But Omarion Hampton, he's big to this offense. He makes things go. And I think they win this one, Jake, 28-24. Cowboys with those receivers, they're one of the best in the league. I would say top 3 in the league. Just what they do to defenses. But Derwin James, he's back healthy. Henley, their linebacker number 0, he's out there balling out. They put hands on people. And what did they do? Did they not just knock the Chiefs out of playoff contention, my guy?
They did.
Yeah, they beat him at the beginning of the year. And they just beat him.
What Travis Kelce said?
No, what did he say?
He was like, yeah, the Chiefs are really going to miss Patrick Mahomes. Like he was speaking from a position of like, oh, yeah, that's not my team. The hell are you talking about? That's the Chiefs. That's not me.
Oh,
he didn't say we.
Damn, we okay. Well, that's not good. Things might change over there. The Chiefs, what is it? A dynasty may be paused here, but the fact that the Chargers did that, Jake, was pretty daggone impressive. So I think that they keep this momentum going. We won't see Taylor Swift in the playoffs, so people can jump for joy because the Chargers shut that shit down. So I got the Chargers winning this one, like I said, 28-24.
Always funny when you bring that up. All right, we got the rest here. Jets and Saints, 10-7. Or what? I don't even know what I'm saying. Jets and Saints. Who you got?
I got Saints, bro. Saints on this one. 24 to Jets 10. Shuck time, brother.
Shuck time, indeed. I got the Saints 20-7. Bills and Browns. I'll take the Bills 33-3.
Yeah. Oh damn! I got Bills 34 to the Browns 7.
Oh man. Chiefs, Titans. I got the Titans upsetting the Chiefs. I actually think Gardner Minshew is gonna have a good day at the office, but I don't think it's gonna be enough because Cam Ward is gonna hurt their draft stock. 20-17, Titans win.
Okay, Jake. I'm not gonna go the Titans on this one because it seemed like they just can't get it right. Jeffrey Simmons did score a touchdown, which was pretty cool. And what I will say is, even though they get smoked every game, they have fun. Jeffrey Simmons scoring that touchdown was awesome. But I got Chiefs winning this one, Jake. I think they have a slim chance of still making the playoffs. I think it's like a little minuscule 3% chance, but I think they win this one. I'm gonna say 24-17.
We got the Vikings taking on the Giants. I think this is the best 2-win team I've ever seen. They should have way more than 2 wins. They're way too talented. You got Abdul Carter playing out of his mind right now. You got Thibodeau. You got sexy Dexy Lawrence. I mean, they have so much talent. And I understand, Malik Neighbors going down has been an issue and losing, Scattaboo. I get that. But it just feels like they shouldn't be as bad as they are.
Yeah.
So that said, I'm going to go with the Giants to win this game. 23-22. Yeah.
You're trolling. You're trolling this one, Jake. I'm going Vikings. I'm going JJ. I'm going JJ, brother.
The Vikings are weird, but one thing I found that's a constant is if they're at home, they're a lot better than they are on the road. And so that was something that kind of went into my prediction there.
Okay.
I think the Giants at home, not saying that they've been great at home, but the Vikings, they have 4 of their 8 losses on the road. So they're kind of just
Well, I like JJ. He's my top performer for this week. I like he's been filing Naylor in the end zone. In my notes for Naylor, I said someone guard him, please, because he's been wide open all game. So I got them winning this one against the Giants. They beat the Cowboys already. They're going to stay on the NFC side and beat the Giants on this one, 24-17. And yeah, man, Jackson Dart, does he have a concussion or no? Like, is he conscious this game or no? Like, what's going on here?
Jameis should be starting at this point. If Jackson's not 100%, you don't put him out there in meaningless games. You just don't.
He's a rookie. Like, let's preserve the man. Don't damage him like that, man. He's banging his head against the wall and on concussion protocol, bro. That's what parent, I would say, what parent wants to see that? We don't want him going down that Tua Tagovailoa route where you get these injuries and you still want to play football. And it's like, bro, you're not cooking like you used to, pal. You're not cooking. So,
Bengals Dolphins, 34-22 Bengals. I can't believe Quinn Ewers is Quinn Ewers is not good. This is not gonna go well.
Yeah, I got Bengals winning this with Jake with Joe Burrow, 33 to the Dolphins 10. Good luck, Longhorn.
Yeah, they're about to make the freaking Bengals defense look good. No one's done that all year. The Falcons and Cardinals. I'm going to take the Cardinals in an absolute shootout. Give me Jacoby Brissett, 42-34 Cardinals.
Okay. I'm going Falcons on this one, Jake, because what they did to the Buccaneers, I'm going to go Falcons 33 to the Cardinals 30. Shootout, like you mentioned. Kyle Pitts is going to cook. Bijan's going to cook.
I like it. And then the Raiders and Texans. No one is watching this game.
Yeah.
Did you see that graphic? The Raiders have like the fewest guys on IR. It's like, oh, so they're just actually ass. There's actually there is literally no rhyme or reason for them to be ass. They're just ass. It is what it is. Raiders, Texans win 38-10. That defense is going to torment. I don't even know who's back there. Is it Kenny Pickett right now?
Yeah, it's Pickett.
That team is not fun. They're not. I can't believe that was the team Stafford almost went to. I sit there every day and I'm like, thank God, because he almost went there.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. That would have been going from worse to even worse. Going from the Lions to that's not good. But that game, Jake, with the Raiders, I got the Raiders getting 14 points. And I got 14 points, and I got the Texans going 40 points. It's gonna be a shootout. They're gonna run it up. That defense is gonna raise hell for Kenny Pickett. So,
yeah, and who's the remind me again, Cam? Who's the offensive coordinator for the Raiders?
Offensive coordinator for the Raiders. That's a great question, Jake. Um, let's see. AFC. Is it Chip? Oh, is it Chip? Wait, it's not Chip Kelly.
It
Who
was
is
Chip Kelly. The point is they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
No idea. Chip Kelly never should have been an offensive coordinator in 2025. It's ridiculous. This isn't college.
Yeah.
You know, Kenny Pickett just had 64 passing yards on 15 passes completed, Cam.
You said 64?
64. And net, you want to go, let's take it here. I'm just going to take it here.
Yeah.
We're going to go net passing yards, which happens when you're sacked. It goes again. He had 29 passing yards net.
Jake, I'm not going to laugh because the man's doing the best he can. Okay. He's doing the
It's
best he
not
can.
his fault. I think there's more there. I mean, I watched Kenny Pickett go down the field on the fourth quarter and beat the Rams, okay, in 2023. We both did. Brock Bowers, we watched have 3 touchdowns. He's now gone to 6 catches for 28.
That hurts. That hurts because I have Brock Bowers. I'm starting Brock Bowers, and I might have to change that.
Genty had 9 carries.
Yeah, let me go to my fantasy right now and change that for Brock Bowers. I'm glad you mentioned that.
this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is pathetic. But anyway, enough talking about the worst team in football. One thing I will say for Raiders fans is it does get better. You actually have cap space, unlike the Browns and Dolphins, and you know there are other teams that they literally have negative cap space and they're bad. So not good. But if you're the Titans and Raiders, you have something to celebrate. High pick, and you actually have a lot of cap space next year. So that is going to do it, my friends. It's been another fun episode of Off the Edge. And if you're watching this for the first time, please be sure to subscribe on our channel. This was by accident putting it on my channel, but hey, if it led to more people getting eyes on it, it's a fun show we do every single week. It won't be on the channel next week. This is by accident, but be sure to check it out. Again, Off the Edge. It's right on my channel as well. Hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, see you guys on the next time. Jake, much love, my brother. Good seeing you in LA. And
back at you.
Hype to see you next week.
Hell yeah, Cam. Next week is week 17. Oh my God.
2 weeks left. Wow. 3 weeks total, but yeah.
Crazy.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.